We're really surprised about that part of the process.
8 sets of wheels squeeze the candy into a peppermint rope. Before it is cut into 10-inch sticks, the rope gets a twist that moves it closer to becoming a cane.
It's what we call the twister, and it's basically 2 belts that run in opposite directions, and the rope will feed through those belts, and that gives it the twisting motion. And we usually have 5 stripes or 5 twists to each cane.
Even after the twister, the candy cane is still just a peppermint stick. You might be surprised to know that the next step is not putting the crook in the cane.
Before it gets crooked, it'll actually go through a wrapper where it actually gets wrapped at that point. And each wrapper runs about 180 canes a minute.
Finally, the crooking machine transforms the candy stick into a candy cane. A brief trip through the cooling tunnel is all that lies between the candy cane and a trip to Santa's pack. With enough candy canes to stretch around the world, Santa Claus should have no problem finding his way to the Spangler Candy Company.
If candy canes are part of children's Christmas fantasies, cooking your very first turkey for a house full of people can be the stuff of nightmares. So what if you have a question Mom can't answer? Well, help is just a phone call away. Let's ring up Chicago, Illinois to see who's manning the phones at the Butterball Turkey Talk Line.
Butterball Turkey Talk Line, how can I help you?
This time of year, the Butterball Turkey Talk Line is jammed with almost 7,000 calls per day.
Okay, how big is it again?
What are all these folks phoning about? Turkey, specifically turkey troubles.
Will you be stuffing it?
And they're calling the right place. The operators have been doling out holiday cooking advice since 1981. According to Talkline Director Gene Schnell, the operators offer comfort in a time of crisis.
We consider ourselves here at the Talkline to be the substitute moms and grandmoms, so we are told that often. This is better than calling my grandma. I think you know more about cooking turkey than she does. We won't tell her that.
These women aren't just talking turkey, they're experts with 4-year degrees in home economics or nutrition. But that's not even qualification enough. They have to attend a rigorous training course. Every operator hears a gaggle of stories in the turkey trenches. What is the most common tale of woe? It usually starts with the same cry.
You won't believe what I did. And then our calm home economists, all professional ladies, been here for years, say, did you leave the giblets in the front of the turkey? Oh, how did you know?
Marie Ryan, another expert at the Talk Line, might just take the cake with her dynamite story.
I had a woman whose turkey exploded in her oven, so that was a little bit surprising. So I just helped her to kind of move on to, you know, as I said before, kind of plan B is what I work with most people is, you know, really capitalize on all your other dishes.
An explosion without injuries, human at any rate. Most questions are more mundane. Sometimes all the caller needs is a little reassurance.
And as you walk around the room on those very busy days, you hear the overriding voice that you hear are people saying, it's going to be okay. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Some of these ladies have been working the Talk Line for over 20 years. How do these experts stay excited about this bird and this job year after year?
Not many people have a job that they enjoy as much as we do.
It makes us feel good. It's kind of like our Thanksgiving.
The Butterball Turkey Talk Line is more than just a phone line. For these women, it's a calling.
Thank you so much for calling. Bye-bye now.
Could you make 400 of these in one day? We'll introduce you to someone who can. Do you believe that everything in this scene is edible? We'll tell you how later on Holidays Unwrapped.
Please gamble on a festive wrapper to persuade you to buy more. But this concept is not as new as you might think. Digging around the old Coca-Cola Company's archives reveals a holiday campaign that actually changed the face of Santa Claus.
He's big and jolly. He wears a red and white suit, and his smiling face is known all over the world. But believe it or not, Santa Claus owes at least part of his popularity to a beverage company.
Well, in 1931, the Coca-Cola Company was trying to find a way to associate Coca-Cola with the holidays. And so they commissioned an artist named Haddon Sundblom to create advertising for Coca-Cola that included a holiday motif.
A campaign featuring the jolly old elf proved to be the real thing, both for Coke and Mr. Claus. Need proof? Just ask anyone what Santa Claus looks like.
He's wearing a red suit with dark leather boots.
Very curly beard gentleman.
A red suit with the bright red head with the white fur around it and the big tummy.
When he created his images, Sundblom turned to real people and gave them legendary status. But when his original model for Santa Claus passed away, Sundblom found what he was looking for in the mirror.
He sort of looked in the mirror and he said, you know, I kind of look like what I think Santa Claus is looking like. So he would actually use his mirror reflection to come up with the proper pose that he wanted his Santa Claus to take in a given year.
A human face in comical situations made Santa a guy we could relate to. Since advertising relied on magazines and newspapers until the 1960s, the American public had time to get to know him, too.
As a matter of fact, it became so ingrained that people would write and ask questions about the paintings. For instance, in one painting, Sundblom had a wedding ring on the Santa Claus. But in another one, he forgot to do that. So people wrote in and say, well, what happened? Did he get divorced from Mrs. Claus?
What about the suit? It can't be just coincidence that Santa is wearing the same colors that Coca-Cola is known for.
I think sometimes popular historians and the like think that Coke co-opted the uniform, if you will, for Santa, but in point of fact, that was well established in previous stories before Sundblom ever came to the scene.
By the way, the campaign did establish Coca-Cola as a holiday tradition. It moved it from a summertime refreshment and started it down the road as a year-long treat. Still featured in packaging today, the Sundblom Santa is more than a marketing tool. He's an institution.
He really did influence how we think of Santa Claus today. And I think that, you know, there are not many advertising programs that can say that.
Santa Claus was not the only European import to become a Christmas centerpiece. Even the Christmas tree has English and German roots.
Stay with us. We'll uncover the secrets to these gingerbread creations. And you won't believe what we can tell you about cookie cutters. That's coming up on Holidays Unwrapped.
This Food Network program brought to you by Campbell's. Make it Campbell's instead.
Hey, Mrs. Dilly.
Hi, Gordon. They're all yours.
Hey, kids, what's down here? Oh, I see. There you go. How's that look? All right, so what do you want to eat? I've got the perfect solution. A can of Campbell's tomato soup. We're going to turn it into your favorite lunch. Put your favorite foods in your soup. You got some pasta, you got some cheese. Every one of you gets to eat exactly what you want, and that's a pretty tough thing to do with 6 kids. So what do you think of Campbell's tomato soup? Great. The secret to successful babysitting? Make it Campbell's instead.
Weeknights at 11:30. Alton Brown is a fountain of food knowledge.
That is a piping bag I can love.
He's got cooking down to a science.
That's what I call caramelization.
Good Eats, weeknights at 11:30 on Food Network.
Designed to resist water, dust, snow, imitation. There's no other digital camera like it. Stylus Digital from Olympus. Designed to do more.
Emeraldware stainless. Check it out.
Non-drip pouring. Stay cool handles. Even heating. Cookware designed by America's favorite chef, Emerald Lagasse.
Stainless with a dash of copper. Great recipe.
Holiday magic made fresh daily. Season's eatings from Food Network.
Is your furniture looking tired and worn? Brighten up your home at Petusa. Petusa makes it easy to furnish your home with beautiful home furnishings and affordable financing. We have a huge selection of brand names in living rooms, bedrooms, and dining rooms. In-store payment plans are available. And if you spend $799 or more, get the shoe chair free. Come to Petusa Furniture and make your home happy. Petusa Furniture, with locations in Newark, Elizabeth, and Union City.
It's not my style to stand back when people need help. So imagine how helpless I felt, having to stand by and watch my family lose its battle with pancreatic cancer. Please give to the Lustgarten Foundation for Pancreatic Cancer Research. We've made strides, and with your help, we can fund more research to find a cure. We're not standing by. Neither should you. I hope you'll join us.
Welcome back to Holidays Unwrapped. I'm Marc Summers, and we are pulling the stuffing out of holiday food and showing you the secrets inside. I know what you're saying. What is the safest gift for coworkers and neighbors? Well, let me tell you, it's food, of course. You have fruit baskets, boxes of chocolate, even gourmet coffee is a huge hit. In fact, companies like Harry and David do, believe it or not, 75% of their business during the holiday gift-giving rush. In Kilgore, Texas, we uncover a slightly smaller company that is a sweet success in the gourmet gift industry.
It really is the gift that keeps on giving. It usually starts with the chocolate, then a taste of jam and crackers, mix up the specialty drinks, and finish with the popcorn. It's no wonder the gourmet gift basket is such a popular gift.
The thing about the gift basket industry is there's so many different themes that they do. They can have a coffee basket that has a lot of different coffee items in there, or they can go with a sweet tooth thing, or Christmas, or Valentine's, or spring. It's just endless what they do.
Kennedy Gourmet specializes in gourmet food gifts. Their pasta, popcorn, even margarita and daiquiri mixes are found in gift baskets across the country. According to George Kennedy, making basket-sized treats requires more than just a focus on taste.
One of the things that I watch and I see is how do they, put together this beautiful basket and ship this thing across the country, and when they open it up, it looks the same. And then all of a sudden you start to see why they ask, gee, this bottle's a little too big or this is too heavy, because they've got to think about the logistical end of it.
The Kennedys got into the gift business because of a sweet present handed out by George's father.
My father used to make fudge since he was a little boy. That's what started the whole thing, was making his fudge and selling it. So it kind of evolved from one item to the next, but the fudge was our big thing.
George took the family business in new directions and grew the company from strictly family to a factory full of employees. Success for the Kennedys swirled around a chocolate-covered spoon.
Up in the Northwest, there were some small coffee shops that did them right there in their stores for their customers, and you never know. It's something it's one of those items we thought, well, it may do okay, but we couldn't make enough.
The coffee spoons start as unadorned plastic spoons. A dip in melted chocolate is the first step of transformation. Candy cake decorations add a festive flair, and a brief trip through the cooling tunnel prepares the spoons for their final hot swirl. The coffee spoons led to other dunkable treats. Chocolate-covered graham crackers swim through the same production process and are now the strongest selling item for the Kennedys. But George knows that part of the appeal of the gift basket is its diversity. So his company is always developing new products, even if it means the company's original product gets left behind.
No, we don't do the fudge anymore. It's pretty competitive. So we always try to stay on the cutting edge of different products, a little more unusual, things with a different twist.
Whether the treat is sophisticated or sweet, pasta or pretzels, the final goal is to produce an item that will be the first out of the basket, but the last one forgotten. Coming up next on Holidays Unwrapped, which of these houses is worth $1,000? We'll tell you, and later, we'll get the scoop on the Cool Whip dollop.
Next on Food Network.
Top 5 holiday hits.
This year, the top gift to give. Food at festive parties or stuffed in a stocking.
Oh, yeah.
Season's Eatings continues with top 5 holiday hits. Next on Food Network.
Here we go.
Hey, Grandma! Hello, baby. I got you something. What? I got you something. Oh.
It's really cute. Does it go any louder? The Hallmark Jingle Bear. Only $5.95 when you buy 3 cards. Where? Only at Hallmark Gold Crown. Imagine what's in store.
Honey, check this out. This is so amazing. This is so cool.
Introducing the Leapster Multimedia Learning System from Leapfrog.
Teaches them reading skills.
Addition, subtraction.
It even tutors them when they're stuck.
You can play learning games. Wow,
It's an educational game player, an electronic book reader, an interactive learning video player, and a digital art studio all in one.
This is awesome.
So smart. It's the first educational handheld everyone will want. The Leapster Multimedia Learning System from Leapfrog. Games and cartridges sold separately.
Hey, Mrs. Dilly.
Hi, Gordon. They're all yours.
Hey, kids, what's down here? Oh, I see. There you go. How's that look? All right, so what do you want to eat? I've got the perfect solution. A can of Campbell's tomato soup. We're going to turn it into your favorite lunch. Put your favorite foods in your soup. You got some pasta, you got some cheese. Every one of you gets to eat exactly what you want, and that's a pretty tough thing to do with 6 kids. So what do you think of Campbell's tomato soup?
Great.
The secret to successful babysitting? Make it Campbell's instead.
HGTV's live commercial-free coverage of the Rose Parade is New Year's Day, but you could be there in person as our special guest. Enter HGTV's New Year's Day VIP getaway. You could win a trip for 4 to the Rose Parade, plus tickets to the Rose Bowl game. We'll also throw in $10,000 and a posh hotel. Enter online at hgtv.com or send in a postcard. HGTV's New Year's Day VIP getaway. Presented by the Eastman Kodak Company, Macaroni Grill, Singulaire, Corbel, and other featured sponsors. Enter today.
In the future, everyone's glasses will automatically adjust to changing light and block out harmful UV rays that can damage the eyes. But for those with transitions lenses, the future is already here. Ask your eye care professional, because the danger is real now, and so is the protection. Transition. Get your lenses before your vision benefits expire.
I think my mom and dad are gonna live to be 200. Because they're very special people in my world. Not having parents would be hard, because he would be stinky. Because he wouldn't have a bath.
Welcome back to Holidays Unwrapped. I'm Marc Summers. We're digging deep to find the secrets within holiday foods. Did you know that it's okay to play with your food? Really, I'm not kidding. As long as you're building a gingerbread house. In fact, it's not only allowed, it's essential. In Asheville, North Carolina, we catch a group of gingerbread enthusiasts red-handed, and you're not going to believe how serious they are about playing with food.
It is amazing what some people create with gingerbread and royal icing. Log cabins and mansions, Volkswagens and RVs, even churches and pickle factories. And all of them have been made with the hope of catching a judge's attention at the Grove Park Inn Gingerbread Competition.
The tradition probably goes back, as most Christmas traditions do, to pagan times when the people would put little bits of nuts and candy and cakes on the trees in the winter to keep the gods happy.
Nuts and candy may have pleased the gods in the early days, but it's the way contestants use them as nuts and bolts that impressed gingerbread judge Emil Jenkins.
When you first see these gingerbread houses, you're looking for the gingerbread. But if you look a little bit closer, then you see that there are stained glass windows that have been made from spun sugar. You see that the roof might be made from chewing gum.
Yes, there's 3 of those.
All the ingredients to the gingerbread house and the whole scene have to be edible. You can't even use a lollipop stick. It has to be totally edible, although nobody would dare eat them.
After weeks and sometimes months of work, most contestants simply want their work appreciated with your eyes, not with your taste buds.
I'm going to take a vacation after this, but it took about 30 days working and doing this at night.
Gingerbread, royal fondant, and even painted pretzels make up Aubrey McKnight's recreation of Charleston's Rainbow Row. Why go to so much trouble?
I'm going to win first place anyway, so it's no hope to it. Positive attitude, you know. Yes, I've already told everybody at work, you know, when I get back tomorrow, you know, first place New York, what can I say?
The moment you have all been waiting for. We've got them.
After hours of anxious waiting,
Grand prize winner of the Grove Park Inn gingerbread competition goes to Clifton Davis.
Aubrey settles for a finish in the top 10 of her category. Clifton Davis's North Pole scene took the grand prize. Believe it or not, waiting for the results is not the hardest part. What is the most nerve-wracking part of the competition? Getting there.
We started from Findlay, Ohio, and well, let's put it this way. Every time I hit a bump, I looked back like that, she looked back, and we looked at each other, and thumbs up, and on we went.
If a bumpy patch of road sets your walls to rocking, gingerbread doctor Erin Morgan is in the house.
It was standing until we got in the car.
The houses can usually be repaired with Erin's triage kit, but it takes a gentle touch to dress the wounds of the competitors.
The first thing we like to do is calm down the patients because they usually come in very stressed. It's never easy to transport a house, whether it's 1 mile or 100 miles.
The adults are mainly women in support of spouses, but there is a surprising gender balance in the youth categories.
Some of the best houses, believe it or not, are done by little boys. And they're all so proud. They come in and they're boastful, but they're also very nervous because, of course, they want to win.
It's a log cabin in winter, and this is an outhouse.
Dakota Slago's log cabin earned him second place in the 11 to 15-year-old category. How much will he brag to his football teammates?
Well, I didn't really tell all of them, but...
Dakota's friends won't be laughing if he brings home the $1,000 grand prize. Whether it's the prize money or the sheer challenge of creating art out of gingerbread, the competition shows just how serious a sweet tradition can be.
$1,000 can certainly come in handy this time of year. Did you know that a form of money plays a part in modern Hanukkah celebrations? Many Jewish families give coins or gelt to children as gifts. Some parents sweeten the pot with chocolate coins. In Meriden, Connecticut, we discover a chocolate factory that specializes in chocolate money.
Holidays and chocolate just seem to go together, but this rich, delectable confection isn't just enjoyed at Christmas. Chocolate has worked its way into the Hanukkah celebration. The Thompson Candy Company has been a rich source of chocolate for years, 122 to be exact. But gelt has been a Hanukkah gift in some families for centuries. Chocolate gelt even sweetens the pot in the dreidel game. One spin of the dreidel can earn a whole pot of chocolate. Talk about a stomachache. But gelt has a serious side too. Historical reminders like the menorah and Star of David are stamped into each and every individual coin. And with 100,000 gelt produced every year, that is some attention to detail. So how much chocolate is needed to make that much dinero?
The coin machines are putting out, for the large coins, about 50 pounds an hour. The small coins are doing about 18 to 20 pounds an hour. So that's a lot of gelt.
The process to create the gelt is a lot more involved than one would imagine. First, 10-pound blocks of chocolate are broken up and put in a melter.
The mass inside the melter reaches about 114 degrees. And that way we make sure that we break the temper of the chocolate.
Who knew chocolate could get angry? Seriously, because of chocolate's complex structure, temperature is a critical factor. The mixture's heat level is raised and lowered a few times to get the right consistency. Hot, cold, it's enough to make anyone snap. In chocolate's case, however, that's a good thing.
You want to get a nice snap to the chocolate. It should have a nice hard snap and should be nice and shiny, and that's a sign of a good tempering.
When it looks like it will be snappy enough, pistons drop exactly 1/5 an ounce of the melted chocolate into a mold. The candy travels through a cooling tunnel, and in about 30 minutes, it's firm. Foil is wrapped around the coins, and a stamping machine transforms the simple candy into the coveted gelt.
There's a top and bottom die that have the design of the Hanukkah gelt on it, and there's also crimpers and cutters. So when the head comes down, it makes it puts the foil tightly around the piece and leaves it with a design on it.
All this for a little bag of chocolate. The Thompson plant isn't just an ordinary candy factory, it's a kosher candy factory. But what does that mean exactly?
We have a rabbi that comes in and does an inspection and verifies that we are manufacturing chocolate items in a sanitary way.
Sanitary. Yep. Kosher sounds like the way to go. The word in Hebrew actually means ritually fit. The biblical laws mainly have to do with not mixing dairy and meat, not consuming blood, animals with hooves, or shellfish. Thankfully, none of this concerns the production of chocolate gelt. Kosher certification is just an added bonus to this delicious chocolate tradition. It's hard to explain the allure of this magical candy. It's worked its way into the hearts of most cultures in some way, shape, or form. One thing's for certain, chocolate is here to stay.
I don't know, there's just something about it. It's definitely addictive. I don't care what the people say, it's definitely addictive.
Don't miss out. We found a group of collectors that will really cut you up. Plus, we'll slice through the myths surrounding fruitcake.
Chestnuts roasting, carolers caroling, fruitcake, mistletoe, check. Before you finish your checklist, check us out. Food Network celebrates the holidays with inspiring recipes and festive party ideas. Season's eatings on Food Network all month long.
Brought to you by Pepperidge Farm. Never have an ordinary day.
Pizzazz.
Meet Harry and Sherry. Harry just bought a Presto Pizzazz pizza oven and can hardly wait. Sherry's been baking frozen pizza in her oven for years. He's already cooking because there's no preheating. She waits. The upper heating element cooks the topping as it turns for even baking, while the lower heating element crisps the crust. That's right, top and bottom baking. Sherry begins to bake. Start with frozen. Awesome. End up with the best pizza ever.
Pizzazz.
A promise from Presto.
Get festive baking ideas at foodnetwork.com. Sign up now for the free 12 Days of Cookies newsletter, and we'll send you a fresh batch of mouth-watering cookie recipes for the holidays. Season's eatings from foodnetwork.com.
He's not a very good handyman.
Because he's not handy.
Thankfully, we have the Pivot Plus.
It's the only power screwdriver that has a tape measure and 2 speeds for drilling holes and driving screws.
It's got everything we need built right in.
The Pivot Plus from Black & Decker. What's the deal with the LG VX6000 camera phone? It's only $99.99. Want to see that deal again? At this price, it's never been easier or more affordable to snap, style, and share all those fun moments. And you can even add sound and text.
This rocks!
The coolest pictures, the coolest phone, at the coolest price. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Nothing spices up food quite like the irresistible flavor of fresh, ripe, green pepper sauce from Tabasco. Tabasco brand green pepper sauce, the flavor of jalapeno, the spice of Tabasco.
You're watching Season's Eatings on Food Network.
Hi, I'm Marc Summers, and welcome back to Holidays Unwrapped. We've got the secret recipes to holiday foods. Now, homemade food dominates the menu at most holiday celebrations, but there is one course that comes straight from the can. It is the jellied cranberry log. What do you say we roll up to the door of America's largest cranberry canner and get the scoop on this American tradition?
The cranberry jelly log. It jiggles when you touch it. It makes a cool noise as it comes out of the can. And it has those funny little ridges. It is a solid American tradition that doesn't always get a lot of respect.
People poke fun at it. I mean, people, you know, real foodies look at that log and, you know, they know they can make something a little bit glitzier and sure, they can, but this is the staple.
At the Ocean Spray Cooperative, the holidays were made for cranberry jelly. More than 86 million cans are sold between September and December. That adds up to more than 1 billion ridges. Ocean Spray Test Kitchen Supervisor Cindy Ticini has tested other containers, but she says the ridges have staying power.
They were investigating a plastic resealable can for the cranberry sauce and asked us to test it. And one, it didn't have any ridges, so we knew, I don't know if this package is really going to work.
That's right, those ridges come from the ridges in the can, making the cranberry log a member of an elite group of foods defined by their packaging. But the ridges have not always been part of the can shape.
We've seen different cans and different advertisements with smooth sides on the cranberry sauce log. And that was just a different kind of can that they used in production at that time.
The cranberry log has been adding color and tang to holiday tables since 1912. But this tart berry was an American staple long before there was an America. Native Americans used cranberries to make pemmican and dye their clothing. One of only 3 fruits native to our continent, the cranberry is also unique because of its ability to float.
If you cut a fresh cranberry open, you'll see 4 little air chambers, and that's what keeps the cranberries buoyant when we harvest them.
The cranberry harvest is a sight to see. Fields of cranberry vines, called cranberry bogs, are flooded and the water is churned. The cranberries rise to the surface and the cranberry roundup begins. Not only do cranberries float, but they bounce too.
Folklore has it that a man named Peg Leg Webb in the 1800s invented this bounce test for quality. And in doing this, what he noticed was that the best quality fruit were the ones that had actually made it to the bottom.
Follow those bouncing cranberries back through time, and they just might take you back to the first American holiday meal.
Well, folklore has cranberry on the menu with the first Thanksgiving.
Now that's a tradition to be proud of. Whether it's the buoyant cranberry or the ridges on the log, the little red fruit has gelled itself a place in American folklore.
For every tradition we have in common, someone has something just a little bit different. Now, Christmas cookies are a great example. Whether you eat them or bake them, they are definitely a part of the holidays. But each cookie cook is different from the other. You see, some drop, others roll, and others even cut. So we decided to sift through the variety and uncovered a group of cookie cutter collectors. Believe me, you may be surprised by what we found.
It is 2 weeks before Christmas. Do you know where your cookie cutter is?
Oh, and this tree is adorable.
These ladies do. Welcome to the holiday meeting of the Rocky Mountain Cut-Ups.
I like this Teflon one.
As you might have guessed from the name, their game is cookie cutters.
We're all friends. We share a common thread of baking cookies, decorating them, and collecting cookie cutters.
If you have a cutter or two stashed deep in the utensil drawer, you might be surprised to know that some people have rooms full of them.
Oh, I probably have about 6,000 or 7,000 in my collection. It just kind of gravitated to that. You know, you look at them, you like a couple, and you just find yourself adding to them.
Well, I want you to use this one. I like that one. I love this one, this bat tree. And this squirrel is right in the backyard, yeah. So let's do that. That's right.
The Rocky Mountain Cut-Ups are a local chapter of the National Cookie Cutter Collectors Club. Amazed that this group exists? You're not alone.
And people don't even realize that there is an organized group that participates and shares this very interesting little niche of information.
How much information can there be about cookie cutters? As it turns out, lots. Each cutter has its own story.
There are different things that you look at, the way cookie cutters are soldered together, if they're spot welded. Some of the unique shapes are very special to certain cookie cutter makers. The whole thing is quite fascinating, and I've learned a lot, and I have a lot more to learn.
But what about the most important question? Which cutters make the best cookies?
A lot of people like the plastic ones a lot because they're bright and they're colorful. But I truly like the metal ones that you need a sharp cutting edge to press through the dough.
What about the shapes? Christmas trees and snowmen dominate the holidays, but what is the most common contour?
Hearts. Every house should have a heart cookie cutter. And I do that to a lot of people, give them a heart.
So this is a hobby with a heart?
Well, I think it's a giving kind of collection because you tend to make cookies with your kids and you give them, and it's a good time together and sharing.
Each member is as different from the other as their cutters, but they all have one thing in common.
Everybody likes a different aspect of, the cookie cutter, but the basis of the club is the cookie cutter.
Stay with us. We've still got the secrets behind fruitcake and the techniques of a Cool Whip dollop master. That's next on Holidays Unwrapped.
Next on Food Network.
Top 5 holiday hits.
This year, the top gift to give. Food at festive parties or stuffed in a stocking.
Oh, yeah.
Season's Eatings continues with top 5 holiday hits. Next on Food Network.
Did you catch the game last night? Great game. Yeah. Hey, what'd you have to eat? Pound of beer-battered chicken strips and cheese fries. You? Oh, watercress tea sandwich with just a sprig of parsley.
Should have had a new Hungry Man Sports Grill. A whole pound of the Sports Grill grub men love. Hungry Man, it's good to be full.
Nothing spices up food quite like the irresistible flavor of fresh, ripe, green pepper sauce from Tabasco. Tabasco brand green pepper sauce. The flavor of jalapeno, the spice of Tabasco.
It's Kohl's biggest 50% off sale of the season, this Wednesday only. Save 50% on sweaters and all sleepwear, and save 50% on all frames and holiday candles. Plus, seniors take 15% off your entire purchase. It's Kohl's biggest 50% off sale of the season, Wednesday only. Kohl's, get happy, get happy.
Mrs. Dilly.
Hi, Gordon. They're all yours.
Hey, kids, what's down here? Oh, I see. There you go. How's that look? All right, so what do you want to eat? I've got the perfect solution. A can of Campbell's tomato soup. We're going to turn it into your favorite lunch. Put your favorite foods in your soup. You got some pasta, you got some cheese. Every one of you gets to eat exactly what you want, and that's a pretty tough thing to do with 6 kids. So what do you think of Campbell's tomato soup?
Yay.
The secret to successful babysitting? Make it Campbell's instead.
Celebrate the season at FoodNetwork.com, the ultimate source for holiday entertaining.
I can't believe that worked.
Be the toast of the town with festive recipes and helpful menus, adding lots of cheer to your holiday party. Season's Eatings from FoodNetwork.com. Brought to you by Kellogg's Simple Holiday Recipes.
There's a place where beauty will inspire you, where service will astound you. There's a place where instant gratification is expected, and value is always a priority. Discover the world for bedroom and bath. At Fortunoff, the source for peace of mind. Now open in White Plains.
I have that digital camera.
Yeah, I got it for $3.99.
I got it online for $3.49.
I got it online for $3.09. Including tax, plus free shipping.
Don't beat yourself up. Introducing new Shopping.com. Compare products and prices from around the web in seconds. Shopping.com. Compare everything. Regret nothing.
Hey, same chair. $5.99?
Hi, I'm Marc Summers. Welcome back to Holidays Unwrapped, where we peel back the wrapper on favorite holiday foods. Now for a tradition that has as many enemies as it does fans. Fruitcake. You either love it or you hate it. Come behind the scenes at the Collins Street Bakery in Corsicana, Texas, and discover what it is about fruitcake that creates such a stir.
That's the only thing left over after Christmas is fruitcake. Can't even give it away.
I don't understand the concept of fruitcake.
I think for me the only uses for fruitcake are paperweights and doorstops.
No, nobody likes fruitcake. You just put it out because it looks pretty.
It's a simple cake with a bad reputation. Fruit-dyed bright colors of red, green, and yellow are set in sweet batter. Weighing in at an average 3 pounds, the fruitcake has been a holiday heavyweight for centuries. Today, there are almost as many fruitcake jokes as there are Christmas carols. But to Scott Holloman at the Collins Street Bakery, fruitcake is serious business.
When I tell people that I work at a company that's the largest producer of fruitcake in the world, they laugh. And it's of course not a joking matter to us because this is how we make our living.
The Collins Street Bakery has profited from fruitcake since 1896. The Corsicana cake did not become world famous until 1914 when the Ringling Brothers Circus wanted fruitcakes mailed around the world. Today, the bakery ships cakes to more than 190 countries. Every year, the staff expands 10 times to get ready for the holiday rush. Production manager Sandy Watson oversees the production of 35,000 fruitcakes a day.
And that's why we have so many people hustling around so rapidly to try and produce 1 million+ cakes in about 3 months.
So how much fruit makes a cake a fruitcake? Plenty. In a 350-pound batch of batter, there is nearly 150 pounds of fruit. All natural candied fruit, that is.
We have papaya, orange peel, raisins, cherries, and a little more sugar. And that is basically the batter to make the cake itself.
So that means that at least one fruitcake rumor is true. These cakes are a weighty treat.
It's quite viscous. You would have to call it a somewhat heavy cake.
Fruit gives the cake its name, but you may be surprised to learn that there are more nuts than fruit in this cake. Pecans in the batter, hand-placed pecans on the top. This is a very nutty fruit cake. But it is the fruit that people want or don't want in their cake. That fruity flavor is sealed by heat and an hour-long trip through one of 3 ovens. A shower of apricot glaze makes sure the fruitcake is ready for final packaging. But for loyal fans, a deluxe fruitcake is not complete without its red and white tin. The Collins Street Bakery tin proves the old-fashioned myth. If you keep a design long enough, it always comes back in style.
One reviewer actually said it comes in a funky retro tin. So now it's not just this old tin that we've never changed. Now it's a hip, funky retro tin.
Will the fruitcake itself ever be hip again? Only if Scott and his ilk can dispel the fruitcake myths and convince naysayers to give it another try.
But I'll bet if you walk down the street and ask people whether they like fruitcake or not, and you ask them if they had tried one, they would say, no, I have not tried one, or it's been a long time since I've tried one.
Loyal fruitcake fans, take comfort. As long as the rumors are flying, there will always be enough to go around.
Whether your favorite holiday dessert is fruitcake or pumpkin pie, chances are you've got a tub of whipped cream ready to top it off. Well, you're not alone. Cool Whip estimates that 2 billion slices of pie are topped between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That adds up to a lot of whipped cream. Everyone has their own technique for getting the whipped cream to the plate, but there's one person who makes a living doing just that.
Oh, missed. Look at that. If you can still see the pie, you probably don't have enough Cool Whip on there.
If presentation is everything, then we could all benefit from the lessons of craft food stylist and Cool Whip dollop master, Joanne Hall.
Well, I would say any dollop that lands on my dessert is the perfect dollop.
A dollop is simply the technical term for the spoonful or spoonfuls of cream on the pie. So a technical term like dollop requires a high-priced dollop tool, right? Guess again.
A spoon. I like a spoon with a slightly pointed tip, because then you get the nice peak at the top.
The secret to the fancy dollop is simple, too. Just create a little bit of a stir.
Now, if you want a really, really fancy dollop, it's important to create some ripples. And then you're going to scoop up those ripples and be generous. And then you're going to lay it on the pie. Now, here's where different dollopers have different techniques. You can rotate the spoon slightly, and there you have it, the Cool Whip dollop.
So it's all in the wrist?
It seems to be the twist, and a lot of people go whap and plop it on the pie, and then you get this big explosion. So it's kind of like carefully placing it on the pie and then twisting.
Even at its peak, this dollop does have a flat side.
A dollop is a one-sided dollop, and the other side isn't quite as attractive, as you can see here.
Joanne's got this one in the bag, too.
Okay, so if you want a dollop that's going to appear well on every single angle, you're going to take a resealable quart plastic bag, you're going to fill it with Cool Whip, and then you can take any scissors, either straight edge or scrapbook scissors or pinking shears, and you're going to cut a fairly sizable hole in the corner. And you see I've got some nice little lines showing. So you start with the base and just kind of gently squeeze as you're going along, and then just pick it up at the top. And there you can see there is no dark side of this dollop.
Whether your dollop is rippled or smooth, dainty or large, the perfect ending is always the same.
2 billion slices of pie, 1,000 turkeys, and 4 million pounds of fruitcake? Man, am I hungry. We're going to wrap up our search for holiday food secrets right here. I'm Marc Summers. Join us next time as we unwrap even more food secrets. For everybody here, happy holidays and happy eating.